Math. When you need help, you use Minute Math.
I'm Sean Gannon, and this is Minute Math, and today we're going to learn about adding and subtracting integers. Negative 12 plus 7. So we have negative 12 plus 7. Alright, so what I want to do here, I start with that negative 12, I'm going to add 7 to it. That's going to bring it more towards that positive direction. So if we think about negative 12 on like a number line, right? Negative 12 right there on the number line. Well, if we go 7 units to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? That's where we need to go. We have, well, 2 units is negative 10. And then we have 5 more units, right? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have negative 10, then we have 5 more. So this is the plus 2, and then plus 5. So 5 more gives us to negative 5. And there's our answer right there, negative 5. Negative 10 plus a negative 7. So we have negative 10 plus a negative 7. Well, 10 plus 7 is 17, and if they're both negative, we go more towards that negative direction. So we have a negative 10, right? So we want to see it on a number line, right? So we have a negative 10 here, and then, here's 0, okay? We go 7 more to the left, 7 more units, like this, right? We're subtracting 7 more, and that should give us a negative 17, and that's where we need to be. So our answer here is just negative 17. Negative 6 plus 12. Alright, so let's start with negative 6, okay? Negative 6 right here on the number line, okay? Well, 6 units away is 0, right? So we know 12 is half of 12 is 6, right? So if I move 6 units, alright, to get to 0, whoops, the negative right there to 0, right? That's plus 6. I need to do 6 more to get a total of 12, right? 6 more, get a total of 12, so we have 6 right here. So here, we have a total of going plus a 12, okay? So we have negative 6 plus 6 is 0, plus one more set of 6 is positive 6. That gives us a total of 12 units we're adding, so we end at right here, right, at this 6 right there. So our answer, this is a positive 6. 8 plus 7, okay? So let's break this down. 8 plus 7. Now you might know the answer right away, but let's look at the number line here. So we have 8, okay? And I'll put 8 right there, and let's say 0 is somewhere right here, okay? So we have 8. So now we're going to start here, and we can move 7 units to the right. Well, 7 can break down to be 2 and 5, right? So 2 units gives us a 10, so we have a plus 2 right here. Okay, plus 2. And then if we add another 5 to that, right here, plus 5, we get a total of, 15, right? 10 plus 5 is 15. So that means 8 plus 7 gave us to that, 15. And so our final answer here is just 15. 3 plus 4. Okay? So this one's fairly easy. You might know the answer right away. It's 7, right? But how do we get there? Well, if we start with 0 on the number line and we get to 3 right there, okay? We know 2 more spots gets us to 5. So if we go 3 plus 2, we're at 5. And then we do 2 more, right? 2 more, we're at 7, okay? And 2 plus 2 is just adding 4, so we're going to the right there. And so our final answer is just that, 7. Negative 45 plus 9. So we have negative 45 plus 9 right there. Okay, well, we start with negative 45, so let's put that here, negative 45, okay? And somewhere way, now this is not to scale, way over here is 0, okay? So again, not to scale, 0. Well, we have to add 9 units. Well, 9 we know we can break down to be 5 and 4, right? So if we add, let's say plus 5 right here, plus 5, that gets me to negative 40. But I still have 4 more units to get to 9. So I add a plus 4 here, plus 4. So negative 40 plus 4 to the positive direction is a negative 36, okay? Because we can see here, right, that 5 plus 4 is a plus 9. Total of adding 9 units to the right there, right? So negative 45 plus 9 is a negative 36. And that is our final answer. Negative 1 plus a negative 46. All right, so negative 1 plus a negative 46, okay? Well, this one, we can kind of see, I kind of flip it around. I think it's easier to see. Negative 46 plus a negative 1, okay? Because our rules with addition, right? That's a 6, okay? Our rules with addition doesn't matter the order, okay? So negative 46 plus a negative 1, we just go one more to the left. So if we think about negative 46 on the number line, and again, over here is 0, okay? As we go to the left 1 unit, well, 1 to the left is just negative 47. And so our final answer here is just negative 47. Negative 30 plus a 10. So we have negative 30 plus a 10. Well, this one's fairly easy, right? We start with negative 30 on the number line, all right? And 0's over here, okay? Well, if we add just 10 units, right, we're moving towards the positive direction, okay? So we're adding 10 units. Well, we have to get to a smaller number, right, as we get to 0. So negative 30 plus that positive 10 is going to bring us to negative 20, right? There's 20 right there, right? So negative 30 plus positive 10 moves us down in a sense, or a negative number closer to 0. So negative 20 is just our final answer. Negative 34 plus 50. So we have negative 34 plus 50 right there, okay? Well, what I want to do, I start with negative 34 on the number line. So we have negative 34 right here, okay? And I need to add 50 units. Well, if I add 34 units plus 34, I get to 0. So we add 34 units to get to 0. So if we've already added 34 units, I have to see what else I have to add. So I have 50. I've already added 34, so I'm going to subtract 34 from it. Okay? Now, 50 minus 34, we put that 4, do some long division. 10 minus 4 is 6. 4 minus 3 is 1. So we have 16 left over we need to add. So we add another 16 from 0, all right, plus 16. And we get to a positive 16 right there. And so we can see that all the way from negative 34 to positive 16, we added 50 units. And so our final answer here, our final answer right there, if I can write 16 right, is just a positive 16. 38 plus a negative 5. So we have 38 plus a negative 5. All right? Well, what I want to do, I start with that positive 38, okay? So positive 38 right here, okay? And for adding a negative 5, we're moving towards the negative direction, towards 0, okay? So we're adding towards 0, so we have to go down 5 units, okay? Well, 8 goes down to 35 with 3 units, right? So if you do 1, 2, 3, we're down to 35, okay? So we're subtracting 3 there. And then we have 2 more to get to negative 5. 1, 2, okay, so we have minus a 2. That gets me to positive 33. So this distance that was traveled was negative 5 units, all right, we're landing right there. Negative 5 units, again, negative 2 plus negative 3 is negative 5. And so our final answer is just 33. Two minus a negative 2, okay? Well, one thing we see I like to do is if we have a minus and negative, right, I can make them a plus, a positive. So that minus and negative 2 plus a positive 2 make 2 bars. So minus and negative is plus a positive. Well, 2 plus 2 is just 4. Okay? So our answer here is just 4. Negative 1 minus 10. Okay? Well, one thing we know about subtraction, right? We already have a negative right here. Okay? So for subtracting, a negative subtracted a positive number, that's the same thing as that negative, plus a negative 10. Okay? And this problem I think is a little easier to solve. So negative 1 plus a negative 10, we're both going toward that negative direction. And so that goes, they're both the same, both negative. So we have negative 11, right? Negative 1 plus a negative 10 is a negative 11. So negative 11's our final answer. 8 minus 7. Okay? So if we have 8 minus 7, what we're really doing, let's look at the number line here. So we have 8 right there, okay? And 0 is right here. So we're going to go 7 units to the left. We're subtracting 7 from 8. So if I go 3 units down, right, 3 units down, 8 gets me down to 1 to 7, 2 to 6, 3 to 5. So we have minus a 3, got me to positive 5, okay? But then I know I have to go 4 more units, and it's kind of not spaced out right? 4 more units to get down where I need to be, right? Because negative 3 plus negative 4 is a negative 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4 gets me to positive 1. So we have negative 4 here. Overall, that's a negative 7 spread. Okay, so we have negative 4 plus a negative 3 gives me negative 7. And so we ended right here at positive 1. So our answer is just good old-fashioned 1. Negative 8 minus a negative 6. So we have negative 8 minus a negative 6. Well, we know subtracting a negative is the same thing as adding a positive. So I like to see it that way. Negative 8 plus a positive 6. Okay? So let's look at our number line. We start with negative 8 right here. Okay? And we're going to go in the positive direction. So let's say 0 is right here. Okay? Well, if I go 3 units, right? 3 positive units, give me negative 7, negative 6, negative 5. So if we have a negative 5 right there, we've got up plus 3 units. Well, 3 plus 3 is 6, so I have to go 3 more units. 1, 2, 3. Okay, negative 5 plus 3 is a positive, or negative 2, right? Negative 4, negative 3, negative 2. So we add 3. And again, it's not perfect line number line, it's just a visual. So plus 3 plus 3 is a plus a 6 right there, right? So we added 6. Not circling, that's not our final answer. But I get 6, getting a little ahead of myself. So we have a plus 6 overall. And so we ended at a negative 2. So negative 2 is our final answer, and that's what I should be circling here. So 11 minus a 4. So 11 minus 4, okay? Well, we start with 11, and we have to subtract 4 units from that. So 0 is over here, okay? 11, and they subtract 4 units. Well, I know if I subtract 1 unit, I get to 10. Okay, so we subtract 1. Well, 3 more units gets me a total of 4. So we go 1, 2, 3, minus 3 units. That gets me to 9, 8, 7. 7 right here. And negative 3 and a negative 1 together come to be negative 4. So when I move a total of negative 4 units to the left, right, from 11, I get a final answer of 7. 48 minus a negative 31. So 48 minus a negative 31. Well, we know subtracting a negative is the same thing as adding a positive. So 48 plus a positive 31. So now we're just adding these two. And I like to do this just the traditional way. I have 48 plus a 31 and add those together. Well, 8 plus 1 is a 9. 4 plus 3 is a 7. And so our final answer here is just 79. 18 minus 41. So we have 18 minus 41. Well, the first thing I'm going to do, right, is I'm going to start out with positive 18, okay, on the number line. And we're moving towards the negative direction, okay? So we're moving towards the negative direction. I know if I go subtract 18 units, minus 18 right there, I get to 0. So if I take, we know we move 41 units to the left because that's minus signs there. So if I take 41 and I subtract 18 from it using the traditional method, right? We have 3 there, 1 carry it. 11 minus 8 comes out to be a 3. 3 minus 1 is a 2. And we have 23. So now we have 23 more units, right? We need to move to the left. Well, that one's easy to see from 0. We go 23 minus 23 more units, and we're at negative 23. Okay, so overall, we've traveled a distance to the negative 41, but our final answer is just negative 23. Negative 38 minus 30. Well, we know that subtraction is the same thing as adding a negative. So this negative 38 minus 30 is the same thing as adding a negative 30. Okay? Okay, so now we have negative 38 and we can move 30 units more towards that negative direction. Okay, so we know we're going to even be more negative. Well, we can kind of see really easy that 38 plus 30 is just 68, right? So if we go a total of to the negative direction, that's just going to be, well, negative 38 plus negative 30 is negative 68, right? So negative 68 right there, and that's our final answer. Negative 1 minus a negative 3. So negative 1 minus a negative 3. Well, we know that subtracting 1 or subtracting a negative 3 is the same thing as adding a positive 3. So we have negative 1 plus a positive 3 right here. Okay, and we know with addition, we can rearrange it with addition. We're allowed to. So I'm going to rearrange this to be 3 plus a negative 1, right? Because negative 1's right there. We're adding two numbers. And 3 plus a negative 1's easy, right? That's the same thing as 3 minus 1, which is just 2. So our final answer here is just 2. Negative 1 minus a negative 40. Okay, so we have negative 1 minus a negative 40. All right. Well, for subtracting a negative, it's the same thing as adding a positive. So this is negative 1 plus a positive 40. Okay. Well, I also can rearrange this because it's addition to have 40 come first. So we have positive 40 plus a negative 1. Okay. Well, 40 plus a negative 1 is the same thing as 40 minus 1, right? And 40 minus 1 is 39. And so there we have our answer, 39. Negative 10 minus 47. So we have negative 10 minus 47, right? Well, subtracting 47 is the same thing as adding a positive 47. So we have negative 10, plus a negative 47, not plus a positive, but adding a negative 47. So since both of these are negative, we can treat it like almost like they're both positive. We're adding them together. So we have negative 10 and a negative 47, and we're kind of adding these two negative numbers together. We know it's going to be a larger quote-unquote negative number. Well, 0 plus 7 is a 7. Negative 1 plus a negative 4 is a negative, or 1 plus 4 is a 5. Keep the negatives going. And so here we have our answer of negative 57. Negative 29 minus 29. Okay? So negative 29 minus 29. Well, we know subtracting 29 is the same thing as adding a negative. So we have negative 29 plus a negative 29. Okay? Well, since they're both negative, we know we're having a larger quote-unquote negative number. We could add this a traditional way. 29 plus 29, and we make sure we slap on negatives at the end. 9 plus 9 is 18. Carry the 1. 2 plus 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5, so we have 5. Negatives all the way through. And so our answer here is just negative 58. 13 plus a negative 29. Okay? So we have 13 plus a negative 29. Okay? Well, what I want to do, I'm going to look at my number line. Okay? And I'm going to actually, before I do that, I'm kind of going to switch this around. I'm going to put negative 29 first. And I know I can add a 13 to that. Okay? So when I look at my number line, I'm actually going to choose negative 29 first. So I'm going to start there at negative 29. And here's 0. And I'm going to add 13 to that. Okay? And the reason why I did that, I found it's easier to only move 13 units than trying to move 29 units. So I'm going to start as negative 29 at my base. Okay? Now I'm going to add 13 units to that. Okay? Well, I know if I add, well, let's say 9 units, it's going to get me to negative 20. So we add 9 units, okay? Well, 9 is almost close to 13, but we're a few off. 13 minus 9, right? That comes out to just be a 4. So we're 4 away. So we have 4 away, we have to add 4 more units. Well, we add 4 units to negative 20, plus 4, and we're at a negative 16. Okay? And we know that 9 plus 4 is a positive 13. Okay? So negative 16 is just our final answer. 38 plus 22. Well, this one's fairly easy to solve, right? Or simplify, right? The expression. We just have two positive numbers. We have to add them together. So 38 plus a 22 using the traditional method. Well, 2 plus 8 is 10. Carry the 1. 2 plus 3 is 5, plus 1 is 6, so we have 60. And so 60 here is just our final answer. Negative 32 minus a 44. So we have negative 32 minus a 44. Well, I know subtracting a positive number is the same thing as adding a negative. So we have negative 32 plus a negative 44. And since they're both negatives, we can add them together. It'll be even a larger, quote-unquote, negative number. So we have 32 and a 44. Let's add them together, and we'll slap on the negatives at the end. 2 plus 4 is 6. 3 plus 4 is 7. Keep everything negative. And so we have our final answer of this negative 76. Negative 12 plus a negative 11. What's nice about this is they're both negative. Since they're both negative, when we add it, we can almost treat them like they're positive, but we know our final answer is going to be negative. So we have 12 plus 11. We just add those together. Easy. 12 and 11 is a 3. 1 plus 1 is a, or 2 plus 1 is a 3. 1 plus 1 is a 2. Keep the negatives going across the board because they're all negative. And so our final answer is just negative 23. 2 plus 15 plus 4. Okay? Well, since they're addition, it really doesn't matter the order in which you add them. Okay? But we can just go left to right here. 2 plus 15, that comes to be, well, it's easy, 17, right? And then we have plus a 4. Okay? And then we just add 17 and 4 together, and that gives us 21. And so our final answer here is just 21. 16 plus a negative 13 plus 5. Okay. Well, first thing here, I see 16 plus a negative 13. That adding a negative is the same thing as subtraction, so I can do that 16 minus a 13 right here. Well, 16 minus 13 just comes out to be a 3, right? A 3 subtracted from 6 gives me a 3, 1, 1, 0. And so we have a 3 right here. Bring down the 5. And now 3 plus 5 is just 8. So our final answer here is just 8. 2 minus a negative 9 minus 8. Okay? Well, this one is pretty easy, okay? I'm going to convert some of this stuff around. So that minus a negative 9, same thing as adding a positive 9. So we have 2 plus a positive 9. And then this minus 8, I'll make it plus a negative 8. Okay? And now we know it's the same thing as minus 8, but plus a negative. Okay? Well, I'm going to combine the 9 and 8 first. I think that's easier because I know they're 1 apart, right? 9, or not really 1 apart, but 9 plus a negative 8 is a positive 1. So the 2 comes down, and we have a positive 1 here. Okay? Now 2 plus 1 is 3. That's easy, and we're done. Final answer is just 3. 10 plus 3 minus a negative 8. Okay? Well, first thing I'm going to do, okay, I see that minus and negative is the same thing as adding a positive, right? So we have 10 plus 3 plus a positive 8. Now it's just addition across the board. So this one's pretty easy to do, right? So let's just do the 3 and the 8 together first. Let's bring the 10 down, but 3 plus 8 is just, well, 11. Okay, so 3 plus 8 is 11. Now we have 10 plus 11 is 21. And so that's it. The final answer here is just 21.
Minute Math. When you need help, you use Minute Math. Minute Math. When you need help, you use Minute Math. MinuteMathTutor.com.